YouTube channel. This is student from Emma Medical College, Karnataka. Today I am going to teach you about clinical history and examination. Being a MBBS student, you should know how to take a clinical history of a patient along with your theory knowledge, isn't it? So, before that, please like and subscribe my channel for more videos. Let's come to today's topic, general history. You should know the standard history taking format, which is as follows. First, identification data, which includes personal history. Second, chief complaint. Third, history of the present illness. Fourth, past medical history. Fifth, family history. Coming to the personal history, in that you should know the name of a patient, sex, age of the patient, occupation, marital status, residence, habits, handedness. That is which is the dominant hemisphere. Remember it in chronological order, my dear friends, because you won't forget it. Remember it as name, sex, age, occupation, marital status, residence, habits, handedness, so that you can't miss any point. So name has got its significance, isn't it? Why a doctor asks a patient his name? Whenever a patient visits a doctor asks the patient, "What's your name?" Isn't it? Name insists the whole name, including the family name, which may include the surname as well. And most importantly, patient will become familiar with the doctor. He will become free to express his problems to the doctor, isn't it? Say for example, just if the doctor calls a patient bed number 22, patient number 15, the patient would not become familiar and free to talk with the doctor. Instead of that, if a doctor calls a patient by his name, say for example, if the patient name is Ramesh, and if the doctor calls the patient, "Yes, Ramesh, how are you? How are you feeling now?" You can see the difference. There will be something apnapan with the patient. So next to the name, you should know sex of the patient, whether it is a male, female. Why is it important? Why sex is again important? You see, some diseases they will be common in females, and some diseases they are common in males. In females, diseases like SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, myxoedema, chorea, primary biliary cirrhosis, calcular cholecystitis are common, and in males, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, hemophilia, bronchogenic carcinoma, coronary heart disease are common. But remember, you shouldn't say that breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer are common in females. Testicular cancer, scrotal cancer, prostate cancer are common in males. Why? Ovarian cancer, cervical cancer will be in females itself, not in males. You should not say that it are common in females, isn't it? Testicular cancer, prostate cancer, scrotal cancer, they will be present in male itself, not in females. So you should not say that. Next, you should know the age of the patient. Why is this important again? Some diseases are common in children and young adults, like valvular lesions, infective hepatitis, acute purpura, poliomyelitis, and acute leukemia. And some diseases are common in old age group, like atherosclerosis, carcinomas, cor pulmonale, cerebrovascular accidents, and coronary heart disease. Next to the age, you should know the occupation of the patient, because some diseases are caused by the occupation as well. Certain occupations may expose the patient to certain diseases. That's why occupation is important. Say for example, lead workers may suffer from lead poisoning and peripheral neuropathy, and drivers may suffer from disc prolapse, and glass workers may suffer from silicosis, and workers working in the X-ray radiation may suffer from bone marrow depression and infertility. What is infertility? Inability to conceive, isn't it? Next to that, you should know the marital status, whether the patient is a single, married, divorced, widower, and next number of children and age of the youngest child if present. Next to the marital status, you should know the residence. Patient kahan ke rehne wale hai, where the patient is living at present, where he was born, isn't it? And you should know the habits of the patient. Habits is very important. You should know, like if the patient is alcohol consumer and chain smoker, whether he smokes cigarette, isn't it? Smoking, you should know the type, number of cigarettes per day a person smokes and the duration he smokes. Next, he should know the smoking index. Smoking index is equal to cigarette per day into duration. Duration which is expressed in years. What are the hazards of smoking? Smoke करे तो क्या होता भाई? See, first COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Second, ischemic heart disease. Third, chronic bronchitis. Fourth, esophageal, gastric, bladder, pharynx, larynx cancers, and many more cancers as well. That's why smoking is hazardous to the health. What are the hazards of alcoholic consumption then? It may cause polyneuropathy, Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, cardiomyopathy, alcoholic cirrhosis, acute hemorrhagic pancreatitis, and Mallory-V syndrome. Next we come to the complaints. After personal history, we should take the chief complaint. See, always remember, my dear friends, that chief complaint should be always described shortly and no medical terms to be used. No medical terms. What are the medical terms? See, for example, if the patient has got alcoholic cirrhosis, then he will say some symptoms. He directly can't tell you that he is having alcoholic cirrhosis. Neither you can tell him, hey, you have alcoholic cirrhosis, polyneuropathy, acute hemorrhagic pancreatitis, something like that. He will not understand. So first of all, try to take chief complaints shortly and no medical terms should be used. It should be always in patient's own language. It should be described in sentences in patient's own words itself. Next to the complaints, you should take the present history. The first question need to ask is about when was the patient last symptomless or when was the patient last symptom free. From that day, the present history starts. So what are the characters? What are the characters of the present history? It should be long. It should be described long. Here you can use the medical terms and describe, mention all the complaints and related symptoms. Arrange these symptoms chronologically. पहले पेशेंट को क्या हुआ था? सर्दी हुआ था, खांसी हुआ था, पहले क्या हुआ था वो पहले chronologically आपको लिखना चाहिए. Complete analysis of each symptom, which includes onset, course, associated symptoms, investigation and treatment. Onset. What are the types of onset when the condition began? Onset are of 5 types: dramatic, sudden onset, rapid onset, gradual onset, accidental onset. So dramatic onset, for example, cerebral hemorrhage. Dramatic onset will be happening within seconds or minutes, and sudden onset will happen within hours. For example, cerebral thrombosis, and rapid onset will happen within days. For example, inflammation. Gradual onset may happen within weeks, months, or years. For example, degenerative diseases. An accidental onset, it is discovered by the patient by chance. For example, mass in the breast. What are the types of course then? Regressive. Regressive means condition which is in less developed state. For example, in inflammation, trauma, isn't it? Next, progressive. Progressive means condition which is in well developed state. For example, malignancy, degenerative diseases. Third, stationary. And fourth, remission and exacerbation. Remission meaning it is the period of diminution. Period of diminution is nothing but remission. Reduction or disappearance of the signs and symptoms of a disease. This includes autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and systemic lupus erythematosus. Next, you should know the past history of the patient. It's very important. Past history. Like any operations the patient has undergone in the past years. Next, common diseases as TB, diabetes, hypertension, rheumatic fever, bilharziasis. What is that? Bilharziasis. Bilharziasis, also called as schistosomiasis. Schistosomiasis, isn't it? It is a parasitic infection which is caused by flatworms like flukes. And whether the patient has drug intake and blood transfusion, whether he has allergy to known drug. If they have allergy, they will say it to what drugs they have allergy, if they know. And next, coming to the family history. You should know the family history of a patient. Like any member in the family will with the similar condition, with the similar symptoms. Any family member is having the same condition, isn't it? Next, any common diseases like diabetic mellitus, tuberculosis, hypertension, and any positive consanguinity. What is that positive consanguinity? It is a fact of being descendant from the same ancestor. Consanguinity means fact of being descendant from the same ancestor. So this was about the clinical history examination. First, you should take the personal history, isn't it? In personal history, you should take name, sex, age, occupation, marital status, residence, habits, and handedness. Handedness, which is the dominant hemisphere. If the patient is right-handed, then his left hemisphere will be dominant. And if the patient is left-handed, then his right hemisphere will be dominant. Isn't it? Try to remember it in the sequence itself. And all of this has its own significance, as you came to know now. Then you took the name, sex, age, occupation, what are the hazards, marital status, residence, hazards of smoking, hazards of alcoholic consumption, complaints, present history. Complaints should be short and no medical term should be used. Patient's own language should be used. In present history, you can use the medical terms, mention all the complaints. Chronologically, arranging symptoms is very important. Next, type of onset, types of course, past history, family history. Here you complete the clinical history examination. Thank you everyone. Again, please like and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.